Hey fam, how you doing? I hope everybody had a good weekend. Happy Monday to you, everyone. Whoever's catching this read. I wanted to come out this morning. I was just sitting out here enjoying the birds and the breeze and putting in a little bit of quiet time with spirit before work. But the thought that came to me this morning, I wanted to share with everyone. I talk about my weekend a little bit, and it was about fear. Because several thoughts came to my mind about fear. First of all, they say that there's only really two emotions, and everything else stems from those, and that's love and fear. And then I thought about fear on a personal level, and facing your fear is the only thing that can really make you, like I said, to get unstuck. You do have to face your fears. That's been one of my biggest challenges. But sometimes it's even figuring out what our fears are. And for me, that's been a little bit difficult in sorting all, kind of sorting through all of that. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Um, Yesterday, I had a profound experience. I have a lot of Sunday profound experiences that I don't share with everyone, but this one was pretty interesting for me because it broke tradition, but it gave me everything I needed. Normally on Sundays, I come outside in the mornings, I do my mantras, I go in prayer and meditation, barefoot in the grass. It's beautiful, it's lovely, it's all of that. And then yesterday, for some reason, when I sat out on the patio, I ain't gonna say for some reason because I now know the reason, I was led to a tarot reading instead. Now, I know y'all, a few of you who have gone to my YouTube channel have seen it recently. I've started adding readings, but I've had a hard time kind of getting going the way I needed to, and there's been fits and starts, and all of that had me in such a stuck place, and I couldn't figure out why. And at the end of the day, I know it's fear, but it's not even fear of the things that I thought it was. I've always told myself that I don't like crowds. I don't like being in the spotlight. I've always had performance anxiety, even as a child. I took classical piano for 9 years, and every single recital, even though I was extremely prepared and always did well, I would literally get physically sick afterwards because of the anxiety I allowed myself to come up with. And you think about it, it's kind of weighing the balance between being raised in an environment where you're told children are supposed to be seen and not heard, don't make waves, don't da 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 da, be small, but then all of a sudden being thrown into a spotlight. That creates an incredible amount of anxiety. And moving forward with this channel, as far I didn't even realize that I was still battling that so much because the things that I'm being called to speak on are not considered normal. They really, really aren't. I'm sorry, the wind is whipping again this morning. I enjoy sitting out on the porch, but trying to look in the camera with the wind it does something to my eyes in the morning. My apologies, but I'm not crying. But yeah, it's like when you really stop to think about fear of other people, it's so powerful. I was literally cast out of my entire family for my religious beliefs a long time ago. We're talking when I was like 24, 25 years old. And yet, to some degree, I'm still a little bit afraid of what they'll think or what they'll say when they hear what I have to say on this channel. Not that they would even be on any of my pages or channels anyway, because they've decided I'm the devil. So who cares, you would think. But yet, it's kept me bound because I took what I thought I knew from what they thought or said based on their belief systems and mask it out there to the world, but not even realizing Spirit is calling me to teach. I agreed to do this. I answered the call from Spirit in 2007. That was the first year, the first time that I knew I heard a voice that I didn't think by myself. And I told Spirit, if they showed me what to do and where to go, I told God I would answer, I would follow. And my guides have been doing their best to get me suited and booted ever since, and yet here I still was, stuck in fear. For what? Because truthfully, we think our egos and our fear keeps us safe, but truthfully, it's only love that can free us. Facing the fear and being motivated to do something to move out of that fear, love is really the only thing that can motivate you out of it. Yesterday, when I say a profound message, I was laughing. I told my roommate, Spirit took me to Tarot Church yesterday. Now, when I was first introduced to tarot, I was very much afraid of it because the very fundamental high control religion / cult, whatever you want to call it, that I was raised in taught me to be very afraid of it. I mean, very afraid. I was literally heart racing the first reading that I looked at, but Spirit led me to it, and I had heard so many other profound things and guides when I asked for any of my guides, angels, ascended masters that were willing to work with me to come forward, and immediately I got a message from Holy Spirit in the form of the I Am discourses coming to me, and then Yeshua came to me and set me on a course of meditation path. It's more stuff than I can even talk about in this video. And when I start talking about it, people that don't know, understand, or believe think I'm more than a little bit crazy. I know I'm not crazy, but I understand that what I'm saying sounds offbeat to those who don't understand, because I put myself, Spirit led me to the path, but I accepted it and set foot on a path over the past 5 years that have basically sequestered me from almost anything I've ever known or loved. But it put me in a place of reflection. And I realized I've got to stop playing it small and understand something. I have been given the gift of wisdom. It may not look like it to those who know my personal story, and trust and believe that wisdom was hard earned and very painful in some instances. I closed so many karmic cycles. We don't even want to talk about all of that because some of the karmics might be watching this and might not like me talking about it. But at the end of all of that, it was for a reason, because I know I'm not the only one going through it. I know there are people in this time of awakening that are looking for something different, that don't quite fit into or believe the things that we've been en masse herded to believe, that are really for humanity's detriment. This is a time in the age of Aquarius where we are supposed to understand that we can reach out through the veil and get direction. And that was one of the things that Spirit showed me with tarot. I never understood why a lot of readers say tarot is for confirmation, not for answers. I mean, I got it on one level, but the more I was led to it, the way I was led to it, I understand a lot of people do misuse it. But in my instance, I will wait for Spirit or instinct, intuition, whatever you want to call it, to lead me to a video. And very often I'd see something in meditation first. May not understand why it was true. I just understood that it was so because I saw it in meditation. And then within the next few days, a week, or what have you, I'd be led to a video or article or a website or something that would give me the spiritual explanation or the medical explanation or the psychological explanation for what I was led to see in meditation. And last year, Spirit gave me the gift of showing me a little bit of insight about the Tarot Network. One of the things that I had to remember, and I thought about a long time ago, because there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about how the gifts of tongues would cease and miracles would cease and all that, but I also have to remember how the Bible has been manipulated. A lot of church hierarchy around the world, and when I say church, I'm talking about synagogues, imams, temples, whatever, have this hierarchy thing where only the ascended ones, only the leaders, the teachers can have this knowledge or touch this knowledge, and the congregation has to be kept in ignorance, and they are the ones that can disseminate the knowledge as they see fit. But my thing was, wait a minute, wait. Why is it that a man of God can channel spirit, but a believer, a child of God, cannot? That doesn't make sense. It can't be true. Because what made those people so different that they were able to channel when we weren't? So I started realizing when I looked through, when I was trying to prove my faith, if you will, and started looking at religion over the past 150 years or so, and started seeing the influx of channeling coming back in, starting around 1850, the late 1800s into the early 1900s. There were probably 60 or 70 little religions just in the United States alone that popped up. Prophets were popping out of everywhere because they were receiving. Now, were all of them receiving clearly? Spirit can only channel through the lens in which it's given, and people's own agendas can push things, and we've seen that. And those religions become just as corrupted as the religions they splintered off from. However, channeling never stopped on this planet. People have been writing down information for thousands of years. However, since the 1970s forward, it's really ramped up, but religion has us afraid of it. We had channelers like Seth that came through Jane Roberts, and oh my goodness, Esther Hicks is still channeling Abraham. Chiron is out there channeling. Theo is being channeled by Gillette. I can't think of her first name. But tarot readers bring messages too. A lot of times they'll tell you they don't even understand where the message is coming from. They just were inspired to give a message and they give it. I had one reader, she was like, y'all excuse me, I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but Spirit said I need to get these messages out, so here we go. And she literally laid down 3 messages back to back to back that resonated with me 100%. And the timing in which I was led to those readings, I know good and full well they were for me. And yesterday the same thing happened with 3 separate readers for me. When I came outside and made the decision to listen to the mantras, the first thought that came into my mind was, when I opened YouTube to find my mantras, was like, you haven't heard anything from Divinely Guided Chosen Starseed yet. If y'all haven't heard that brother speak, oh my goodness, please go to YouTube and look him up, Divinely Guided Chosen Starseed. But when I went on to his channel to check it out, I noticed that he had posted a live the night before. I didn't get the notification, even though I'm subscribed, but I'm like, you know what? Not questioning it. I sat down to listen. Within the first 5 minutes, I knew the message was for me. By the time he was halfway through, I was sobbing and crying. By the end of it, I was still crying, but they were tears of joy, because every word out of his mouth was a confirmation for Spirit directly towards me. He got so specific. He was like, I don't know who you are, sis. I don't know who you are, bro, but you got a thing for pyramids. I'm seeing pyramids. You even got a money tree or some kind of a prosperity, like a Chinese tree. And at the time he said it, I was sitting right there at the desk with my 2 crystal orgone pyramids on my tarot table and my Chinese money tree on my ancestor altar. Now, he said a whole lot more stuff other than that. And the ancestors, the meditation that ran alongside that reading, they even showed me even more about how they've been showing up for me and trying to give me clues. But he was so pointed and specific, and let me know, yes, you are hearing clearly. Spirit has been trying to get you suited and booted. When you were led to trying to fast and all that, you struggle with it, but keep going, because it's for a reason. You got to get your body right for what's coming up next. They confirmed everything. And then if that wasn't enough, While that reading was playing, another reading, very small channel, beautiful sister, Lightworks Intuitive Healing. Check her out too if you're a seeker, seeking knowledge. But she came in and started speaking on this last karmic cycle that I had to close. And I'm going to talk more about that because it's something I think is affecting a lot of people, because I've heard so many readers talking about it, and it's a recurring theme, but it's more serious than people know. It runs deeper than people know. And that's about releasing your exes. Not keeping friendships with people. If a person came to you initially supposedly attracted to you, and instead of offering you a promise of love, protection, provision, your name, all the rest of those things, all they did instead was basically use your body, play with your mind, and then ride off into the sunset to whomever else for whatever reason. I'm not bitter, I'm not casting blame, but if they didn't go the distance, let them go. When they try to keep you in their energy, people that do that have a habit of keeping all their exes in their energy. They're feeding off you. They're energy vampires. And not only does it keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck spiritually, energetically, romantically. You can't drag an ex into a loving relationship with your next. If you do, you're going to wind up with a next that's exactly like your ex, and you'll continue a vicious cycle. It seems like the cool thing. Oh, I'm such a cool person. We're not bitter. We can still be friends. No, they wasn't your friend because they didn't approach you to be a friend. They claimed they were going to be your other half, and then they changed their mind and walked away. Let them keep walking, because if you try to be friends with them, I promise you, especially, I'm talking now to divine feminines, once a man has sampled your wares, it's always going to be in the back of his mind. Please don't think that he's as happy for you and your next boo as he's letting on. Especially if you know for a fact that you are a divine feminine and you were good to him. And if you're honest with yourself and look back over the relationship and realize you treated him well and he left you for his own agenda, don't let that man back in your life. He's siphoning your energy. He can't sleep with you no more, so he's willing to survive without your sexual energy, but he's still benefiting from your energy. He's using you like a battery, which is fine if you're so kind-hearted you want to open a vein and let somebody do that to you. But very often you're clipping your own spiritual wings by doing that. If you didn't have those people feeding off your energy, ain't no telling where you'd soar to. And that's what Spirit is letting me know. And they're showing me it's go time. It's time for me to, I've closed the karmic cycles. I'm doing the spiritual work. Now it's time to get over the fear. And then the third reader came in and basically wrapped it all up and showed me, basically put that amen stamp on what Spirit has shown me that I'm walking into. I'm coming into union with my twin flame, and there is a reason for that. I'm not saying twin flame just to be cute. A lot of people do, and they're out there in the comments and on the channels talking about how painful it is and the runner cycles and the this and that. And it is if you are out there trying to chase somebody when you're not healed yourself. The twin flame journey is a spiritual journey, and twins cannot come into union, into harmonious union, until they've done the spiritual work and healed. They each have to heal pretty much in separation, and then they can come together and finish catalyzing healing and ascension and growth in each other. And they are to be used at that point to combine healthy sexual energy to boost the energy of the planet. It's a job. It's an assignment from Spirit. It's not just because it sounds good on videos on YouTube and Instagram. And a lot of the people that are having so many problems is because they jumped the gun too quick. They met this person who blew their mind, and then they had sex with them, and it just blew the rest of their mind. And they keep reaching for that like a drug addict because they want that high. But they're still broken inside. They're not doing their own healing work. And they don't even realize the only thing stopping them from their heart's desire is them. When you heal, your twin will heal as well. And you'll reach a point in your healing where you both know it is time, and you'll come together, and spirit will stop allowing the roadblocks that's been keeping you apart, and you'll come together. Sounds simple? Definitely not simple. My twin and I have been in separation for over 4 years, almost 5 now. But it's time for us to come together, because we do. And when I tell you we're not the same people that we were when we first met, we are so grateful that we were kept in separation. Had we met when we first met online, we wouldn't be together now. We both know it. We're thankful every day that every time we tried to make arrangements, a passport didn't come through, or the money wasn't right, or the whatever, all of those things that slowed us down served for our benefit. We have healed and catalyzed so much growth in each other. We are truly grateful for having waited. But now we're ready, so I have to step out of the cave. I have to face my fear. What is my biggest fear? Being different. All my life I've been different. And all my life I've been trying to fit in. Never have. Kept trying. Still didn't. Kept trying. Want to play small. Can't play small. Spirit is saying it doesn't matter who doesn't like what I have to say. There are some people out there. My soul family, my soul tribe is out here. I hope I'm talking to some of them now. I've asked to gather a tribe because I don't have much of a family left. My children, but even them, they're estranged. I see them every couple years, maybe. They're grown. Every 4 or 5 months, one of them might text me or call me or whatever. It's time for my soul family to come in. And I'm going to be honored to be able to read for them and teach them and share some of the hard-earned wisdom that I've learned along the way with them. And together we will continue to heal and grow and ascend. And I so look forward to that. So, like I did when I did the recitals, here we go, scared and all. I won't be physically sick this time. I'm getting over that part. But it's time to come out of the cave for real, and be consistent and get over the fear. Let love lead me out of fear. And I hope whatever you fear, you let love lead you out of your fear as well, because there is something so amazing on the other side. You see it, you know it. It's time to touch it. Peace and blessings, family. I love you so much. Until next time, namaste.